Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Latin American Chamber of Commerce Mid-Year Conference for 2020. My name is John Rojas, and I am a financial consultant with RGP Consulting, specializing in financial planning and analysis. I'm also privileged to be and serve as the treasurer of the Latin American Chamber of Commerce. It is my privilege today to welcome Mr. Norberto Sanchez, one of our most dynamic and local businessmen. Norberto, would you introduce yourself, please?
Thank you, John. It is a pleasure to be here. It's an honor to be here in the Latin American Chamber of Commerce conference, the mid-year conference 2020. Again, my name is Norberto Sanchez. I'm CEO of Norsen, a company based out of Atlanta and also Charlotte and Jacksonville, Florida. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, John.
Norberto, these are very challenging times. That goes without saying. Let me start by asking you first, tell us a bit about your organization that you represent, that you're the CEO and chairman of. And what has this period been like for you? What challenges have you faced?
Wow, John, this is unprecedented times, as everybody would know. I remember back in 2008, when we faced, the toughest financial crisis, in our country, and I thought, man, this is horrible,
Right.
and I thought, I said, this is something like this will never happen again, or it's going to be very difficult, But anyway, now we're facing COVID-19, and it is even a much bigger challenge for any organization, not only here in the U.S. but in the world. So it's been tough times. It's really tests the organization, especially for us. As you probably know, we are in 3 different industries. We're in media, Hispanic broadcasting. We are in also food distribution, where we serve supermarkets, restaurants across the East Coast of the United States. And also we're in the toughest business that there is right now, which is the restaurant business. We have 18 restaurants in the between Atlanta and Charlotte, so it's been unprecedented time. It's been very tough, but it has tested the organization. And I'm very glad to say that we're going to make it. But, definitely we have made major changes in the organization and the way we act.
Well, the fact that you're here, Norberto, is indicative of your fiscal strength, and I congratulate you for that, because only the strong will survive. Share your experience, please, in leading Norsen Media during the time of uncertainty. For instance, how do you redefine success now with the coronavirus?
Well, success right now, first of all, we need to establish the priorities, and that was the first thing that we did. We saw in the first week, basically of when really COVID became a real threat, to the economy here. And I can say probably was the after the first week of March, the first thing that I did is I said, I remember that movie when he says, when an airplane was getting ready to crash, and you say brace for impact. So the first thing that I did, is to call a general meeting to everybody in the organization to say, hey, brace for impact. This is going to be tough. We don't know where we're going into, and I know that it's going to be very difficult for the whole organization. So I didn't know what was that impact going to be, but we knew that there were going to be a completely structural changes to the organization, the way we act. So we established 3 priorities. The first one is to be sure that the most important one was the well-being of our coworkers and the in the health. That was very important. Number 1 priority. Number 2, the health and the well-being of our providers and our customers. That was number 2. And the third was really focus our company to the business continuity. After this, because at least the only good thing that we know about this is that it's a finite event. There'll be something that I mean, there'll be a time when this is over, and hopefully we will survive. And let's prepare the company to be sure that we're standing with the 2 feet prepared. Because at the end also there'll be some opportunities. That after all this, as you mentioned, only the strong will survive. I think the strong and the one that have the resilience to be here and prepare themselves, not only before because you didn't have time to prepare, but really prepare yourselves through these big difficult times, to be sure that you're getting ready to get out, and be sure that you're able to take also opportunities, for the benefit of the company. So business continuity was the third. And as we continue to be sure that we take care of our coworkers as number one priority, and number two, be sure that we take care of our customers, which has been challenging, and I can elaborate a little bit more on that, in the restaurant business especially. But and the focus, laser focus on the business continuity. That's now what we've been working. My leadership team in each of the companies, in each of the divisions, we've been focused, on really concerned about the business continuity of the whole company.
Norberto, and I agree. I think one of the strong points that you just made was your frankness. You did not sugarcoat, and I think you were very direct with your employees in saying, like to quote you, brace for impact. In other words, you did not try to sugarcoat that this was going to be an issue. As a leader in your industry, what is your message now for the future? As you look forward and you've taken care of the situation and the problems, what do you recommend for our community and other businesses to do in order to continue to make progress in this environment?
Thank you, John. The advice that I will give is something that we follow, and it's not easy, to be honest. It's been very difficult, at the personal level, because, my company, we started from scratch with, zero coworkers. And right now pre-COVID, we had about 1,100, coworkers in the company. A lot of them being with us for a long time. They've been for us with 28 years or so, or some of them 30. And the biggest challenge that I had, was to make those tough decisions, because you have to select who is going to be the people that will stay with you, that will help you have that business continuity. So it was very tough, and it continues to be tough because as we speak, yesterday I have to take, a couple of decisions that were very sad for me, because when you take the human capital, which is the most important asset in my company, in all the companies, it's difficult to make those decisions, but we have to make them not only, for being greedy, is really for the continuity of the business, so it's for the families that will depend on this business for now and the future. So, I think that the best advice is that, we need to breathe deeply, make those decisions, being human, be as human as possible, to be sure that you feeling their concerns. So the people where you're making these decisions, where you're cutting jobs or making salary decreases or something like that, we need to be sure that, we take those decisions because the business, depends on that, so, that's been the toughest, and my advice is to be sure that, don't be shy. I mean, this is tough time. People will understand at the end of the day, maybe not right now, but they will understand that when you're making those decisions are for the benefit of the company and the families that will depend on this business in the future. So that's my best advice, be sure that take those decisions because your business continuity depends on that.
Yeah, it is true what you're saying. And I'm sure that you're also keeping those names of people who have been with you for decades at the top of the list. So when the rebound comes, you'll be talking to them again, I'm sure.
Yeah, that is correct, John. It becomes when, pre-COVID, you were thinking about, reengineering, and you're thinking about, strategy positioning, your company, each of the divisions in the best way possible. Well, now, you have to be thinking, from here to December, at least, that's my milestone that I set up for for the company to be sure that we have the right people and we have become an operational company. Basically, let's operate in the most efficient way, reduce cost as possible, because cash and liquidity are the most important part right now for any company.
As the saying goes, the age-old adage, cash is king or queen.
Yes, yeah, you're right about that. So we've been focusing on that. We've been blessed to be able to participate in some of the PPP, the programs from the SBA and so, and some help, but we were blessed to be able to be economically strong before, pre-COVID. So we were, again, blessed to have those lines of credits available to us that help us, when all of a sudden, your business stops dramatically one day and you don't have any income, especially talking about the restaurant division. It makes it very tough, because you still have expenses coming up in the back end, and you don't have the cash flow, to be able to pay. So, it was very, for us, we were blessed to have that is, financial position in a strength, such a way that we will able to be able to defer, a lot of these major expenses that we had.
Right. And that's another set of difficult decisions.
Yeah.
So for now, to wrap up, Norberto, what words of wisdom do you have for us?
Well, again, I think, things will get better depending on the industry that you are. We see in the media business, if I can give you my 2 cents there, of course, the first thing that you got, when you're running a business is advertising. It says, yeah, but the first thing that you need to be able to bring the revenue back is to be able to advertise, to be sure that everybody knows that you're open, that you're in business. So, in that industry, I see, a great potential. Of course, we have other challenges like the, establishing, the digital platforms that we are, really focusing on, in that regard. For restaurants, it's just, pray that, people will stay safe. And that's a big challenge that we have because, some customers don't believe that COVID is very damaging, and which it is. Personally, we have had some families and friends that have been sick and very sick. So I know that it's true, that it's a fact, that this is real. So we need to be sure that we protect my people, the people that work at the restaurants, and be sure that we take every single precaution to be sure that our guests are safe, our people are safe, and also our providers are safe. And in the restaurant will come back, but we need to be sure that we bringing people back to work as the business grows. So we need to be taking the pulse of the business every single day. Small groups to make decisions. Leadership groups within each of the divisions. That's what I'm doing every day. We used to see each other like every week or so. Now it's every day, 7 days a week. Because it's important to manage this crisis. It is important to be, on top of what is going on in every single division, in my case, or every single business that you are. And for the, meatpacking company, we were tremendously blessed to be diversified because, the restaurant business went down. Yes, it came down. People start restaurants open to curbside, to go orders online or whatever. So we pick up again, some of that business, but we also serve supermarkets. In supermarkets, our business, our volume grew 250%. So that division is the one that really helped us also propel, and keep our whole group of businesses safe because we, to be honest, we make record, profits, in the last 2-3 months, just because the prices of meat increased dramatically, and we, maintain a margin, and our business grew, so. We, being diversified in my case really help us out. I think, you get the potential and the opportunity to be diversified yourself. That's key. I think that is key. They're not depending on only one single business, especially because I think that this pandemic or pandemic or the COVID-19, virus and the way, that happened, as the doctors, people, the scientists, they believe that this is going to be recurring. So we need to be prepared for that. So we need to be prepared for that, not only for the financial crisis, but also for another recurrence of another virus in the future.
Well, Norberto, thank you very much. On behalf of the LACC board, I thank you for your time, taking the time to talk to us and to share your experience. A truly inspiring story. And we would like to take this opportunity to wish you and your company the best. And please stay safe.
Thank you, John. It's a pleasure. It was an honor to be here. Thank you very much. Thanks for what you're doing in the chamber. It is very important that we continue to support the chamber for many years to come. So thank you, you and our, President Rocio also. Thank you very much for being there and appreciate it. And good luck. Stay safe, please.